Hey guys, Manitove here again. What we're going to be doing today is another after action review of the Siege that just ended yesterday. So let's go ahead and hop on in and take a look. Alright, in this first round I am taking on a Juno, Theo, and Triana. So when I see a Theo, I bring my Leo. And I will be taking the newly buffed Raki and Chasun. Now I'm really enticed by Raki's new third skill that ignores death effects, so it'll go right through Triana's passive, right through Theo's passive of Endure. The only downside of this particular comp right now is my Raki is not skilled up. I've had the unit for about a year and a half now. Really didn't see the viability in using the unit because most of the time I would just take a Varus, the Water Anubis, just easier to skill up. And I find it to be a little bit more viable in tanking most comps that I would take it into because of a Ladriel or Triana focusing on the Water Anubis to spread out the damage a little bit. But in this case, Raki's third skill worked just fine, as you saw. Theo disappeared. I like Raki's second skill as well. It shares a second skill with Ethna, which is the AoE defense break and attack bar increase on itself when it crits. So you get a lot of turn cycling, which allows you to bring up that third skill a little bit faster. I will be probably re-runing mine because mine's currently on a speed, crit damage, attack build on Despair. And I believe its offset is guard right now. It's just the best of what I had at the time when I pulled Raki. The crit rate is respectable. I believe it's about 80%. Crit damage is somewhere around the 130% range, and the plus to attack is only about 900 to 1,000. I mean, it's not overly high. That wasn't a unit that I would regularly use. Unfortunately, this unit is pretty far down on my Devilmon list because I have recently acquired some newer units that are taking precedent over the Devilmon. One being Hathor, and the other one being the Fire Beast Rider I just pulled right after TOA reset. So I'm looking forward to skilling that unit up and using it. Alright, and this next round is a pretty standard Siege defense comp, which is Kamoon, Rakuni, and Theo. So I just go ahead and decide to cheese this one out. Chiwu is also newly buffed to his third skill. There's an automatic 15% reduction no matter what if the unit has buffs or not. But as you see, I start off with skill 2 to block beneficial effects. Defense break, nuke the Theo, and it's a pretty easy cleanup after that. As you see, both Kamoon and Rakuni were attack bar reduced. Didn't play much of an effect in that match though. Next match is a Molong, Perna, and Tyrannies. And so I bring the newly buffed Velauel, the Leica that was buffed in the last patch, and Ariel, who didn't receive any buffs in the last couple of patches, but that's okay. I brought the Ariel to tank the Tyrannies. I brought 2 fire units. It was a 50-50 chance on which one Molong would go at, but I figured I had the sustainability either way. Start off with attacking the Perna, that's the point. I want Tyrannies to use his Forest of Protection on the Perna, so I could kill the Perna the next round, and the third skill's out of the way, and then kill the Perna again to get Perna's passive out of the way, and then kill the Perna for a third time because repetition is fun. As you see, I got 2 dots landed on the Perna, so I'll let the dots do their thing, kill off the Perna for this round, and then I'll lay more damage into it next round. The newly buffed Velauel, I'm really enjoying. I think you're going to see a big shift in his meta relevance for the next RTA season because his damage output now matches the necessity for RTA, and he is a defense-based damage dealer, which means he isn't going to suffer from the effects of a long drawn out stalled RTA match. So I think he is going to be a second or third pick in a lot of people's comps coming up in the next year. Just because, like I said, that damage output does justify him being picked as a sole damage dealer now, in combination with, you see those Lauren Vertihill comps. Plus, on Velauel's third skill, he does have an attack bar boost, so that just brings more turn manipulation in the benefit on your side for RTA. So I do predict that you will see a lot more of the Vertihill, Lauren, Velauel comps next year, or not next year, but next season, which hopefully starts in a couple of weeks, because I am already over this special league. If I wanted to cleave in a special league or in a RTA, I would do it in a normal season. I wouldn't want to just be relegated to 4-star units. I really don't enjoy the RTA aspect of this game, but I am getting more into it just because if you want any of the novelty items like the wings or whatnot, you basically have to do it. As you see, this match drug on a little bit because I didn't bring a defense breaker or an attack buffer, but still, I was never in any danger, even with Molong getting his procs to lose this match. This next round is Armarna, Leica, and Velauel on defense, so I went with another easy comp, and that is my Bulwark, Molong, and Louise. The particular reason why I did this is I want to snipe the Armarna so I don't have to deal with the defense break or the brand and his cleanse and heal. And the other reason why I brought this particular comp against this defense is Bulwark is amazing against Leica, along with a Viva Chill if you happen to be fortunate enough to own one, or Harmonia works just as well. Any unit that does the switching of life totals rather than damage ignores Leica's passive. So I don't have to worry about being limited to the 4 hits necessary to kill him. Now, as you see, this Leica has apparently the super revenge built in, because he's revenged like 5 out of 6 times I've hit him, and he almost killed my Molong, so I had to switch targets. But now I have 5 stacks, as you see. Bam, 50% life right through the passive. Then I'll go ahead and clean him up, and the match is mine. It was a surprise to me that those particular skills worked on Leica, because I use Leica a lot on offense. And one time I took it into a Viva Chill and watched it just destroy my Leica. So you live and you learn, and now I use that to my advantage on offense. And bye-bye Velauel. Now this next one is Galleon, Zyros, Tiana on defense, so I decided to bring my Joltan, Garo, and Camila. All these units, even with defense break, would survive a Fiery Breath, which everyone on their side derped, which made my win even easier. I was really in no danger of losing this match. I figured between the AoE on Zyros taking a little splash damage from Garo's passive, or Joltan's passive, I would be able to kill him relatively easy. And then even if Galleon went proc nuts, which he's prone to do on defenses, and kills my Garo, I would still have my Joltan and Camilla to clean up the rest of this defense. I don't see this defense being all that viable in Siege or Guild Wars, but if you're fast enough, you could surprise some people, so I see why people run it. This next match is against another standard Siege defense, which is Kamoon, Ethna, and Theo. So I brought Sierra, Hathor, and Tiana. Just going to sleep them, start bombing my unit, and work my way around. This match went pretty smoothly as well, other than 99% accuracy coming into play right here. My Hathor and my Tiana are both relatively tanky, so if they decided to take on either one of those units first, I was in good shape. The only thing that would have made things go sideways a little bit for me had they started off on my Sierra, but they did not. My Sierra is currently on a speed attack build. That's because I use a bomb cleave and arena, and I found myself sometimes getting up to the G1, G2 level, and I would bomb a Molong, double bomb a Molong, or Ritesh, and even at 50k damage, ignore defense, some of them were still living. So now it's 55k damage, and most of them die instantaneously. But it does make my Sierra a little squishier, but that's something I'm willing to live with. Now, this next match is a Molong, Perna, and Triana on defense, so I bring my second Molong, which is a vampire build. I bring my Fireheart Magician and Ramagos. Now, this is pretty easy. I bring Ramagos to tank the Perna. I will take the Reckless with my Harmonia, put the damage back on the Triana, Reckless the Triana, and it becomes 2v3 very quickly. And then my Ramagos is really tanky. I'm pretty sure he's sitting around 50k HP after towers and everything. So even if Perna max out the Vio procs, my Ramagos is in no danger of dying. Now I use Clean Shot right here, or in the next round, to make sure that the Molong does not Reckless again. And this is just, it's just a turn count at this point. Waiting for the right opportunity and for my skills to come back up. Now the unfortunate part, like I said, this is my Vampire Molong, which is, it is beneficial when you go into certain comps, but if you're looking to speed clear things and just waiting on the 4-turn cooldown for Reckless Assault, Bio is much better, but I figured having a variation Bio or Vamp would be more beneficial rather than building two identical units, and it has worked out so far. If you have not 2A'd the Ramagos, I would recommend putting him on the to-do list. Very, 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 very beneficial, especially when you run into fire threats on defense. Its stat increase makes it a lot more viable, and it does its job very well. This next match is a newer defense that you're seeing on Siege. It is Kamoon, Orion, and the Dark Martial Cat. This match does not go well in my favor, and you go ahead and take a look and see why. Orion does Orion things and stuns the one unit I bring in to handle the Dark Martial Cat. This Dark Martial Cat also happens to be relatively speedy on Vile, so it manages to keep defense break off of itself. And the team is speed tuned very well, as you saw that the moment right after the Martial Cat lost shield was back on again. Now, summary conviction without defense break. Had the shield not been there, I'm pretty sure I would have killed, but like I said, things did not work out in my favor. I kept the match going, thinking that maybe I would be able to CC my way into a victory this next turn. The Barbarian does have a stun on skill 2, which I do land, and then you see Vio is Vio, and that is the end of the match for me. So I take on the same comp again, and this time I bring my Susano, my Orion, and my Water Fairy. Even with the Orion doing derpy things, I believe I would have easily handled this with this comp. The Water Fairy has a lot of CC, and neither one of my two support units are running any crit rate. I believe they're both very, very low, either at the stock 15% they come with, or under 20% in total. The Water Fairy also has a turn 1 freeze, which I was going to use to keep the Dark Martial Cat in check. As you can see, my Water Fairy is at about 50% accuracy, so it lands pretty reliably, and because the Dark Martial Cat is dark, I don't have any elemental disadvantage to worry about. Aludia is another unit. If you have not 2-8'd it yet, put it on your list. I would actually make this one a priority because 2 forms of CC, full cleanse with attack bar boost on a 2-turn cooldown. Very effective unit. Now, as you see, Dark Martial Cat gets deleted by the Water Fairy pretty easily. Not much to worry about, and after this it's just a CC and take down the Commune and be done with it. The nice thing is also the third skill of Ludia does have decent multipliers on it, so the damage is relatively nice. Now, this is, I believe, my last match for Siege. I went 8-2. I bring my Wind Werewolf, Ethna, and Beta against a Jin, Tyrannies, and Chow. Now, this is another match that does not end well in my favor, and that's because elemental disadvantage exists according to Comtos. This Chow ends up soloing my 2 wind units after I kill the Tyrannies and the Jin. I brought the Wind Werewolf specifically for Tyrannies, as you've seen in my other videos. He makes him pretty much a non-factor. The recording doesn't go all the way through because I relied on Com2S's internal recording mechanics, so it stops for some unknown reason. It wasn't like this match was even long or drawn out. But after I killed the Light Paladin, Chow manages to Vile proc out of every stun and defense break, and I'm unable to just keep up because I didn't bring any other sustain other than Beta, who dies right now. So right after this, the next turn, the Light Paladin dies, and then Chow solos my 2 wind units. But that's the end of my after-action review. If you saw anything I missed, please leave it in the comments below. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. You guys have a good day.